I made a stupid joke about trading sex for career advancement, and my partner of 6 years vanished the moment the words left my mouth. Everyone assumes he overreacted to a harmless comment, that his disappearance proves he never really loved me. They're wrong. I'm the one who destroyed everything we built. The fallout wasn't just losing him. My family thinks I'm the victim of abandonment. My friends are planning revenge scenarios against a man who doesn't deserve their hatred. Every sympathetic text, every "you're better off without him" message lands like a knife between my ribs, because they don't know what I did before that joke. They don't know why he had every reason to leave without looking back. I'm going to tell you the whole story, including the part I've hidden from everyone who thinks they're defending me. You'll understand why the joke wasn't actually a joke at all, and why the man they're calling a coward was actually showing more self-respect than I ever gave him credit for. It started 18 months ago when Derek and I moved to Seattle for my dream job at Cascade Marketing. He was supposed to find work after we settled in, but his industry was smaller here, pickings slim. I told myself I didn't mind being the breadwinner temporarily. I'd supported him emotionally through his mother's death 2 years prior. This felt like balance, like what partnerships meant. Derek took on all the household stuff while job hunting. Groceries, cooking, cleaning, managing our calendar. He was good at it, better than me, and I appreciated coming home to dinner and an organized apartment. But something shifted in how I saw him. When we'd go out with my new work friends, I'd catch myself introducing him with this apologetic tone. "This is Derek, he's between positions right now." Like I needed to explain him. My boss, Michael Chen, noticed me immediately. He was 42, divorced, and had this way of making you feel like the only person in the room when he spoke to you. Our team was small, just 5 of us, and he took a particular interest in my career development, extra feedback on my presentations, invitations to shadow him in client meetings. I told Derek about it excitedly. "Michael thinks I have real potential for advancement." Derek smiled, but something flickered in his expression. "Just be careful. Bosses who play favorites usually want something back." I dismissed it. Derek didn't understand corporate culture. He'd worked in nonprofits his whole career, places where everyone pretended money and advancement didn't matter. He couldn't grasp that mentorship was normal, valuable, something to be encouraged rather than suspicious of. The first time Michael touched me, it was a hand on my shoulder during a presentation review. "Excellent work, as always." His palm stayed there 3 seconds longer than professional. I felt it, that charge, and I didn't step away. I told myself I was being paranoid, that Derek's weird comment had planted seeds of doubt where none should exist. Then Michael started texting me outside work hours, always about projects initially, but bleeding into personal territory. "How's your weekend? That restaurant you mentioned is fantastic." I responded, because ignoring your boss feels like career suicide, right? I kept the messages brief, professional-ish, but I kept responding. I didn't tell Derek about the texts. Not because they were inappropriate, I rationalized, but because he'd already shown he couldn't be objective about Michael. He'd make it into something it wasn't. This was me protecting him from unnecessary worry, protecting our relationship from his insecurity about not working. 3 months in, I got assigned to the Kinsley account, our agency's biggest client. Michael called me into his office to tell me personally, "I fought for you to lead this, don't make me regret it." The way he looked at me made my stomach flip, not with discomfort exactly, with possibility. That night Derek made my favorite dinner to celebrate, homemade pasta, the recipe that takes 3 hours. He'd bought wine, expensive stuff we couldn't really afford on one salary. He was so proud of me, so genuinely happy. I looked at him across the table and felt this wave of something ugly. Resentment that he was celebrating an achievement he'd played no part in. Embarrassment that my career highlight was being feted by someone in an apron I'd bought him as a joke. "Michael really believes in me," I said, pouring a second glass. "I believe in you too," Derek said. "I always have. It's different though. Michael sees my potential in the industry. He knows what I'm capable of professionally." Derek's face did this tiny collapse before he recovered. "Right, of course, that's important." I'd heard him, and some part of me had meant to. That realization sat in my chest like a stone, but I took another drink and pushed past it. The Kinsley project consumed the next 2 months. Late nights, weekend work, constant communication with Michael. He'd order dinner for us when we worked late, just the 2 of us in the office. We'd talk about our lives, our dreams, our disappointments. He told me about his divorce, how his wife had never understood his ambition, how lonely it was at the top. I told him about Derek's job search struggles. Michael listened with this sympathetic expression. "It's hard when partners aren't on the same trajectory. Growth happens at different rates." I went home that night and looked at Derek reading on the couch, wearing sweatpants at 8 p.m., and felt that ugly feeling expand. We weren't on the same trajectory. I was ascending, he was stagnant. Derek finally got a job offer 4 months ago, good position, decent salary at a nonprofit focused on housing accessibility. He was thrilled. I was too, outwardly. I made all the right excited noises, but privately I felt disappointed. He was going back to the same type of work, the same sector that didn't value ambition the way corporate did. He'd never understand my world. We should celebrate properly this weekend, Derek said. Nice dinner, just us. We haven't had a real date in months. I can't this weekend. Kinsley presentation is Monday. Michael and I need to finalize everything. You've been working every weekend for 2 months. That's what it takes to succeed, Derek. Not everyone can coast. His face went white. I'd never spoken to him like that before. The cruelty shocked us both. I haven't been coasting, he said quietly. I've been keeping our life running while you focus on work. I thought that was the agreement. I didn't agree to support you forever. It's been 7 months. Feels longer. He left the room. I heard him in the bedroom, probably crying, but I didn't follow. I told myself he was being overly sensitive. The presentation was important. He needed to understand that. Michael started complimenting my appearance. You look incredible today. That color is stunning on you. Have you always had those eyes? Each comment crossed a line I could see clearly, but I never asked him to stop. I'd adjust my posture, smile, thank him. Sometimes I'd think about Derek's warning from months earlier, but I'd dismiss it. I was handling it. I was professional. The Kinsley presentation killed. We landed a year-long contract worth 7 figures. Michael took the team out to celebrate, but he sat next to me, his leg pressing against mine under the table. I didn't move away. I pressed back slightly just to see what would happen. Nothing happened that night, but the charge was there, unmistakable. I went home to Derek, who'd waited up to hear how it went. I told him about the success, but not the leg, not the way Michael had whispered "you're amazing" in my ear when no one else could hear. We had sex that night, me and Derek, but I was thinking about Michael the whole time. That was the first time I'd done that, and I felt sick afterward. Derek fell asleep holding me, and I lay there staring at the ceiling, wondering what was wrong with me. The promotion became available 6 weeks ago. Senior account director. Significant raise, my own team, real power. I wanted it so badly I could taste it. Michael called me into his office to tell me I was being considered. You're my top choice, he said, but I need to be sure you're committed. This role requires total dedication. I'm committed. I know you are. Stood came around his desk, perched on the edge right in front of me. We make a good team, you and I. Imagine what we could accomplish together. His hand touched my knee. I looked at him. I should have stood up, should have reported him, should have done 1,000 things other than what I did. I put my hand over his. I want this, I said, meaning the promotion, meaning his hand, meaning everything I knew was wrong. He smiled. Good, let's discuss it further. Dinner this weekend? Okay. I went home that night buzzed on power and possibility and self-disgust. Derek had made dinner again. He got a haircut, was wearing actual pants instead of sweatpants. He was trying. How was work? He asked. There might be a promotion coming. Babe, that's amazing. He hugged me, genuine joy radiating from him. We should celebrate. Want to open that champagne from our anniversary? We'd been together 6 years that week. I'd forgotten completely. He clearly hadn't. Sure, I said, feeling like the worst person alive. We drank champagne on the couch. Derek talked about his new job, the projects he was excited about, the difference he hoped to make. I half listened, responding with "Mim, and that's great," while thinking about Michael's hand on my knee, the dinner invitation, what it meant. Are you okay? Derek asked. You seem distant. Just tired, work stuff. Do you want to talk about it? No, too sharp. I softened my voice. I'm fine, just need sleep. We went to bed. Derek tried to initiate sex and I pretended to be asleep. I felt him lie there next to me, awake, knowing I was faking. The space between us felt oceanic. Friday came. I told Derek I had to work late. Instead, I met Michael at an expensive restaurant across town. Somewhere no one from work would see us. That alone should have told me everything, but I went anyway. He ordered for both of us. Expensive wine, multiple courses. Talked about the promotion like it was already mine. You'll be perfect in this role. We'll be working even more closely together. Late nights, travel, lots of one-on-one time. I'm ready for that. Are you? He reached across the table, took my hand. Because this role requires someone who's all in, no distractions, no divided loyalties. I knew what he meant. I should have pulled my hand back. Instead, I squeezed his. I'm all in. He paid the check. We walked to his car. He drove me to mine in the parking garage, and before I got out, he kissed me. I kissed him back. His hand went to my breast, and I let it stay there for 5 seconds before pulling away. I should go, I said. Think about what you want, he said. The promotion is yours if you want it badly enough. I drove home shaking. Derek was asleep. I showered for 40 minutes, trying to scrub off the feeling of Michael's mouth, Michael's hands, trying to wash away what I'd become. The next 2 weeks were torture. Michael kept texting, suggestive messages about opportunities and private meetings. I responded vaguely, keeping the door open, unable to commit but unable to shut it down. At home, Derek sensed something wrong but couldn't identify what. We barely spoke. I was never there, always claiming work obligations. I miss you, Derek said one morning. I feel like I haven't really seen you in months. I'm right here. No, you're not. You're somewhere else. Someone else, maybe? My heart stopped. What are you talking about? Are you having an affair? No, technically true. I hadn't slept with Michael, just kissed him, just let him touch me, just been emotionally cheating for months. Then what's going on? Nothing, you're being paranoid. I'm being observant, you're different, we're different. Maybe we've outgrown each other, I said, cruel, intentional, trying to make him the problem. He flinched like I'd hit him. Do you mean that? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. He didn't push. He just nodded and left for work. I called in sick and stayed home, crying on the bathroom floor, hatting myself. The promotion announcement was scheduled for Monday. Michael called me Friday afternoon. Dinner tonight, we need to discuss the final details. I knew what final details meant. The price for the promotion, I could either pay it or withdraw my name. I went to dinner. We drank too much. He laid it out plainly. I want you, Katie. Not just professionally. The promotion is yours and we both know you've earned it, but I want us to acknowledge what's happening between us. Make it real. I have a boyfriend. You have a roommate who doesn't understand you. When's the last time he challenged you intellectually? When's the last time he matched your ambition? Never. Derek had never matched my ambition because his ambitions were different. He wanted to help people, build community, make life better for those struggling. My ambitions were selfish, focused on money and status and power. Michael was right that we were different. He was wrong that different meant incompatible. But I didn't say that. I said, I need time to think. Clock's ticking, announcement is Monday. I need an answer this weekend. I went home. Derek was cooking, always cooking. The apartment smelled like garlic and rosemary. He smiled when I walked in. Hey, I'm making your favorite. Thought we could have a nice night in. He'd set the table with candles, our nice dishes. He got flowers. He was trying so hard to fix something I'd broken. I'm not hungry, I said. Katie, please, can we just have one nice evening like we used to? Fine. We sat down. The food was perfect as always. Derek poured wine, asked about my day. I gave minimal answers. He told a story about something funny that happened at work and I barely listened. I was thinking about Michael, the promotion, the choice ahead of me. Are you even hearing me? Derek asked. What? I've been talking for 5 minutes and you haven't looked at me once. Sorry, distracted. By what, or should I say by who? Don't start, Katie, you're barely here. When you are here, you're somewhere else. You won't talk to me, won't touch me, won't even look at me. What am I supposed to think? Think whatever you want. Do you love me anymore? The question hung there. I should have said yes. Should have recognized that this was the moment, the cliff edge, the last chance to step back. But I was so deep in my own selfishness, my own twisted priorities. I don't know, I said. Derek's face crumpled. He stood up, walked away from the table, came back. You don't know, after 6 years you don't know. It's complicated. Is there someone else? I told you no. Then what is it? What changed? I changed, I grew, I want different things now. Like what? The promotion. Because I'm happy for you about that, Katie. I've always supported your career. You don't understand the pressure I'm under, the sacrifices I'm making. What sacrifices? I'm the one who's sacrificed. I moved here for you. I've been supportive while you work 100-hour weeks. I've never complained about being alone constantly. What have you sacrificed? My time, my energy, my focus. That's called having a job. You wouldn't understand. Your job is playing nonprofit martyr. Mine actually matters. His eyes went glassy. I'd never been this openly contemptuous before. I'd thought it but never said it so baldly. Wow, he said quietly. Is that really what you think of my work? I should have backtracked, apologized. Instead, I doubled down. I think you're wasting your potential. And you're wasting your soul, he said. This person you're becoming, I don't recognize her. She's mean, she's selfish, she's everything you used to hate. Or maybe I'm finally being honest about who I am. Maybe I'm finally prioritizing myself instead of managing your feelings. Managing my feelings? I'm your partner. You're supposed to care about my feelings. I'm supposed to set myself on fire to keep you warm. No, you're supposed to love me enough to tell me the truth, to treat me with basic respect, to remember that we're building a life together. Maybe I don't want the life we're building. Silence. The kind that feels like falling. Okay, Derek said finally. Okay, if that's how you feel, then we need to make some decisions. Like what? Like whether we're still together, because I can't do this anymore, Katie. I can't love someone who treats me like I'm in the way of her real life. Maybe you are in the way. I didn't mean to say it, or maybe I did. Maybe I'd been wanting to say it for months, to force his hand, to make him the one who left so I could be the victim. Derek stared at me. Then he nodded, this slow, accepting nod. All right then. He walked to the bedroom. I heard drawers opening, the closet door. He was packing. I sat at the table, frozen, half of me screaming to go after him, the other half relieved this was finally happening. He came back out with a duffel bag, just one, not moving out, just leaving temporarily. Where are you going? I asked. My brother's. I need space to think. For how long? I don't know. Until I figure out if there's anything left to save here. Derek, no, you don't get to say my name like you care right now. You don't get to do that. He walked to the door, paused. I love you, Katie. I've loved you through everything, but I can't love you more than you love yourself, and right now I don't think you love yourself at all. He left. I sat there staring at his plate, his untouched food. My phone buzzed. Michael texting. Have you decided? I need an answer tomorrow. I looked around our apartment, the life Derek and I had built. The photos on the walls, his books on the shelf, the throw blanket his mom made before she died draped over the couch. Evidence of 6 years of love, of partnership. Then I looked at my phone, at Michael's message, at the promise of power and money and success. I texted back, yes, I'm in. He responded immediately, perfect, come over, let's celebrate properly. I knew what that meant, I went anyway. I drove to Michael's apartment. Expensive building, penthouse unit, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He answered the door in expensive casual clothes, scotch already poured. I knew you'd make the right choice, he said, handing me a glass. We sat on his leather couch. He laid out the promotion details. Salary, benefits, team structure, it was everything I'd wanted. Then his hand was on my thigh, creeping higher. We're good together, he said. This is just the beginning. He kissed me, I kissed back. His hand started pulling at my clothes. I let him. He pushed me back on the couch and I didn't resist. Then I saw Derek's face in my mind. Derek who'd packed one bag, Derek who'd said he loved me even as he left, Derek who never once asked me to be anything other than myself. I pushed Michael off. I'm sorry, I can't do this. He looked annoyed. Katie, come on, don't play games. I have a boyfriend, I have a life, this is wrong. You made your choice. I'm unmaking it. His expression turned cold. You realize what you're throwing away? The promotion? Everything, the promotion, your career trajectory here, my mentorship, all of it. Because I won't sleep with you. Because you're not all in, because you're not ready to do what it takes. What it takes is sexual harassment. It's only harassment if it's unwanted. You've been wanting this for months. He was right. I had wanted it or convinced myself I did. But wanting something doesn't make it right. I'm leaving, I said, standing up. If you walk out that door, you're done at Cascade, I'll make sure of it. Then I'm done. I left, drove home in shock, shaking. I'd just blown up my career. For what? For a relationship I'd already destroyed, for a boyfriend who'd left me. I got home at midnight. The apartment felt empty without Derek. I looked at my phone, wanting to call him, but what would I say? I almost cheated on you with my boss but didn't, so that makes it better. I went to bed alone in sheets that smelled like him. Monday came. I went to work expecting to be fired. Instead, Michael called an all-hands meeting. Sarah Chen got the promotion. Sarah, who'd been there half as long as me, who'd produced half the results. Sarah demonstrated the kind of commitment we value at Cascade, Michael said, looking directly at me. She's proven she'll do whatever it takes to succeed. Everyone congratulated Sarah. I smiled and clapped, feeling hollow. After the meeting, Sarah cornered me. I'm sorry, I know you wanted this. How did you get it? I asked. She looked uncomfortable. Michael and I have been working closely, very closely. Oh, she'd paid the price I wouldn't. She'd made the choice I'd almost made. Congratulations, I said, meaning it. She'd won a prize that would poison her. That night I texted Derek, can we talk? He responded hours later, I'm not ready. I need to explain something. There's nothing to explain. You told me how you feel. I heard you. Please, just coffee, 1 hour. He didn't respond. I sent another message. I'm sorry for everything. You were right about all of it. Still nothing. I spiraled, called my sister Jen, who I hadn't spoken to in months. Katie, what's wrong? I told her everything. The promotion, Michael, the way I'd treated Derek. I left out the worst parts, the kiss, the going to Michael's apartment. I presented it as emotional affair territory, not the much darker reality. Derek left you over a work crush, Jen said. That's extreme. It was more than a crush. I was horrible to him. Everyone goes through rough patches. He should have tried to work it out. I told him I didn't know if I loved him anymore. Oh, Katie, what were you thinking? I don't know. I got caught up in the career stuff, the attention. I lost sight of what mattered. Does he know you're sorry? He won't talk to me. Give him time. Men need space to process. But Derek didn't need space. He needed honesty, and I still wasn't giving it to him. Work became unbearable. Michael iced me out completely. Sarah got my accounts, my responsibilities. I was relegated to grunt work, entry-level assignments. The message was clear. This was my punishment for refusing him. I should have reported him, should have gone to HR, documented everything. Instead, I started job searching, wanting to escape the situation I'd created. Derek's brother, Matt, showed up at my apartment 2 weeks after Derek left. He asked me to get his stuff, Matt said coldly. He's not coming back. Would you if you were him? I need to talk to him. He doesn't want to talk to you. Please, Matt, I know I screwed up, but I love him. I need him to know that. You should have thought about that before you started fucking your boss. We didn't. Save it. Derek told me everything. What did he tell you? That you've been having an affair for months, that you told him his work doesn't matter, that you said he's wasting his potential, that you basically told him he's worthless. I never said worthless. Didn't have to. He knows what you meant. He's known for a while that you've been pulling away. He just didn't want to believe you'd actually cheat. I didn't cheat. Matt laughed bitterly. Okay, Katie. Whatever helps you sleep at night. He packed Derek's things methodically. Clothes, books, his coffee maker, the blanket his mom made. Each item felt like evidence of a life being dismantled. Tell him I'm sorry, I said. Tell him I love him. Tell him yourself if you can find him. What does that mean? He's leaving Seattle, got a job offer in Portland. He's taking it. Fresh start away from you. When? End of the month. That gave me 2 weeks. 2 weeks to fix the unfixable. I showed up at Matt's apartment. He wouldn't let me in. Derek doesn't live here anymore. He got a short-term rental until he moves. Where? I'm not telling you that. Matt, please, you destroyed him, Katie. He cried for 3 days straight. He blames himself, thinks he wasn't good enough for you, and you know what? I think he's better off. You're toxic. The door closed in my face. I tried everything. Called Derek's phone a dozen times, texted paragraphs of apologies, sent emails. He blocked me on everything. I contacted his new workplace trying to get information. They wouldn't give it. We can't share employee information. I drove around Portland on weekends, hoping to randomly spot him, like I just happened to run into him in a city of 600,000 people. My work situation deteriorated further. Michael started openly mocking me in meetings, making pointed comments about employees who think they're above consequences and people who don't understand workplace dynamics. I finally went to HR. The rep, an older woman named Diane, listened to my story. Do you have evidence of these propositions? Text messages. He was careful about what he wrote, but the implications are clear. Implications aren't proof. He told me I'd get the promotion if I slept with him. Did he say those words exactly? Not exactly, but then you're describing your interpretation of his intentions. Without concrete evidence or witnesses, this becomes he said, she said. So he can just sexually harass employees with no consequences. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we need more than your word, especially when you had dinner with him off-site, went to his apartment voluntarily, and continued responding to his texts for months. That muddies the waters. She was right. I'd participated in my own harassment. I'd let it happen, encouraged it, used it to my advantage until it became inconvenient. There's nothing you can do. I can document your complaint, but without more evidence I can't guarantee any action will be taken. And I should warn you, retaliation claims are very difficult to prove. I left HR knowing nothing would change. Michael was protected by my own complicity. 3 weeks after Derek left, my mom called. Jen told me what happened. Are you okay? Not really. Derek seemed like such a nice boy. What went wrong? I gave her the sanitized version. Work stress, growing apart, different priorities. These things happen, she said. You're young, you'll find someone more compatible. I don't want someone more compatible, I want Derek. Then why did you cheat on him? I didn't. I stopped because I had, maybe not physically until that kiss, but emotionally for months. I messed up, Mom. We all mess up. The question is what you do about it. He won't talk to me. He's moving to Portland. I can't fix it. Maybe it's not meant to be fixed. Maybe this is life telling you to move forward. But I didn't want to move forward. I wanted to go back to before I let ambition poison everything. Back to when Derek's love felt like enough instead of a limitation. Work became intolerable. Every day felt like punishment. Michael's hostility, Sarah's awkward sympathy, the whispers from colleagues who sensed drama but didn't know details. I started therapy. Dr. Patterson was kind but direct. You're describing a pattern of self-sabotage, she said during our 3rd session. You had something good and you systematically destroyed it. Why? I don't know. I think you do know, you're just afraid to say it. I wanted more. The relationship felt small compared to what I thought I could have. And now I realize the relationship was the most valuable thing I had, and I threw it away for validation from a predatory boss and a promotion I didn't even get. What are you feeling right now? Shame, regret, self-hatred. That's a start, but shame without action is just self-indulgence. What are you going to do with these feelings? I didn't know. I was paralyzed by the magnitude of my mistakes. 1 month after Derek left, I was at a work happy hour I'd been guilted into attending. Sarah was there, glowing with her new promotion, with Michael's arm around her waist possessively. I watched them and felt sick, knowing I'd almost been her. A colleague, Ramon, sidled up to me. Rough scene, huh? What do you mean? Sarah and Michael, everyone knows what's happening there. Same thing he tried with you before you shut it down. How do you know about that? Office gossip, people talk. Word is you turned him down, so he tanked your career and moved on to the next target. Does Sarah know people are talking? Probably, but she doesn't care. She got what she wanted. At what cost? Ramon shrugged. That's her calculation to make. I left the bar early, feeling gross. Got home to the empty apartment. Derek's absence was everywhere. The clean kitchen because I'd let dishes pile up. The unmade bed because I couldn't be bothered. The general disorder that proved how much he'd done that I never appreciated. I opened my laptop and started writing. Not to send to Derek, just to process. I wrote everything, the timeline of my attraction to Michael. The moment I knew it was wrong but pursued it anyway. The kiss, the apartment visit, how close I'd come to completely destroying my integrity. I wrote about Derek, how patient he'd been, how supportive, how I turned his kindness into weakness in my mind, his different ambitions into inferiority. I wrote until 3 a.m., purging it all onto the page. Then I did something stupid. I found Derek's new work email through some LinkedIn stalking and sent him the document, all 20 pages of brutal honesty. Subject line, the truth you deserve. I hit send before I could reconsider. He responded 3 hours later. Just one line, you kissed him, you went to his apartment. My blood ran cold. I told Matt we didn't sleep together, let Derek believe it was just emotional. Now he knew how close I'd come. I called him. He answered surprisingly. Derek, don't try to explain. I just have one question. Did you sleep with him? No, I almost did, but I stopped it. You almost did, Jesus, Katie, you almost did. I know, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. When you told me there was no one else, you were lying. Technically we hadn't, technically you're going to technically your way out of this, you kissed him, you went to his place, you were going to fuck him for a promotion, those are the technicalities. I didn't do it, I stopped. You stopped because you thought of me, great, so I'm the guilt that prevented you from completing your affair, that's so much better. Derek, please, no, I don't want to hear it, I thought maybe we could eventually talk, work through whatever happened. But this, you lied to me for months, you were planning to cheat, the only reason you didn't is last-minute guilt. That's not, and you know what the worst part is? I spent weeks thinking I was the problem. That I wasn't ambitious enough, successful enough, interesting enough. I was in therapy, Katie, trying to figure out how to be better for you, and the whole time you were kissing your boss and going to his apartment. I'm the problem, you're perfect, you've always been perfect. I'm not perfect, but I was faithful, I was honest, I was present, I gave you everything I had. I know, it wasn't enough. It is, I was just too stupid and selfish to see it. Silence. I could hear him breathing, could imagine his face. I have to go, he said finally. Wait, I'm moving to Portland next week. Please don't contact me anymore. I need to move on and I can't do that while you're still trying to justify what you did. I'm not trying to justify. Goodbye, Katie. He hung up. I tried calling back, blocked, tried texting, blocked, tried emailing, bounce back message. He was gone. Really, truly gone. I called Jen, sobbing. She came over with wine and tissues. I really fucked up, I said. What happened? I told her everything this time, the whole truth, the kiss, the apartment, how close I'd come. Oh, Katie, why didn't you tell me before? I was ashamed, I still am. You should be, but shame doesn't fix anything. What do? You let him go, you work on yourself, you figure out why you did this so you never do it again. I love him. You loved the idea of him. But you didn't love him enough to be faithful, to be honest, to treat him with basic respect. That's not love, that's convenience. Her words hit like a slap, but she wasn't wrong. I threw myself into job searching, got an offer from a smaller agency, less money, less prestige, but a clean start. I took it. My last day at Cascade, Michael called me into his office. Leaving us? He asked with mock concern. Yes, that's unfortunate, you had such potential. Potential you tried to exploit. I never forced you to do anything, you made your choices. And you made yours. How long until Sarah realizes what you are? Sarah understands how the business works. Unlike you, she's willing to do what it takes to succeed. You mean she's willing to let you harass her for career advancement? That's not success, that's survival. Call it what you want, she got the promotion, you didn't. Because I wouldn't fuck you. You didn't fuck me because you got cold feet at the last minute. Don't act like you're noble, you were willing, you just chickened out. He was right again, I had been willing. The only thing that stopped me was a mental image of Derek, not any actual moral fiber. You're right, I said, I was willing, which makes me almost as bad as you, but at least I can change, you'll always be a predator. I left before he could respond, cleaned out my desk while colleagues pretended not to watch, turned in my key card and walked out into the Seattle rain. The new job was fine. Boring actually after the high-stakes drama of Cascade, but boring was good. Boring meant rebuilding. Therapy helped. Dr. Patterson pushed me to examine my values, my definition of success, why I'd tied my worth so completely to career achievement that I'd sacrificed my relationship for a promotion I didn't even get. You need to forgive yourself, she said. I don't deserve forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about deserving. It's about releasing yourself from the prison of your mistakes so you can learn from them. I tried. Some days were better than others. 6 months after Derek left, I saw him. He was in Seattle for a conference, walking through Pike Place Market with a woman. She was pretty, laughing at something he said. His hand was on her back, casual and intimate. I watched from across the market. He looked happy, healthier than when he'd been with me. The woman looked at him like he hung the moon. I should have felt jealous. Instead, I felt relieved. He was okay, better than okay. He'd moved on, found someone who appreciated him, built a new life. I left before he could see me. That night I wrote him one final email, not begging or apologizing, just acknowledging. I saw you today at the market. You looked happy. I'm glad. You deserved better than what I gave you, and it looks like you found it. I'm working on becoming someone worthy of the love you showed me, even if I'll never have the chance to show you that person. Thank you for the 6 years. I'm sorry for how I ended them. Be well. I didn't expect a response. I didn't get one, but sending it felt like closing a door I'd been holding open. A year after Derek left, I ran into Matt at a coffee shop. Katie, he said, surprised. Hi Matt, how are you? Good, you? Better, working on myself. How's Derek? He's good. Really good, actually, happy in Portland, engaged. The word hit like a punch, but I smiled. That's wonderful, tell him I'm happy for him. You mean that? I do, he deserves happiness, he deserves someone who sees his value. Matt studied me, you're different. I hope so, I was pretty terrible before. You were, but at least you know it now. We talked for a few minutes, cordial, not friendly, but not hostile either. When we parted, I felt lighter somehow. Permission granted to move forward, but then something happened 3 months ago that unraveled my fragile peace. I was at a professional development conference when I ran into Sarah Chen. She looked terrible, thin, dark circles under her eyes, that hollow look of someone running on fumes. Sarah, are you okay? She looked at me and started crying. We found a quiet corner. I'm so stupid, she said. You tried to warn me. What happened? Michael, It started as an affair. Then he got controlling, jealous. He monitors my phone, my emails, who I talk to. If I don't respond to his texts immediately, he punishes me at work, gives my accounts away, humiliates me in meetings. I'm trapped. You need to report him. To who? HR is in his pocket. I went to them about his behavior and suddenly I'm on a performance improvement plan. He's untouchable. Then quit, get out. I can't, he'll destroy my reputation. He has emails, texts, photos. He said if I leave, he'll send them everywhere. I'll never work in this industry again. I felt sick. This could have been me. Would have been me if I'd gone through with it. What are you going to do? I don't know, endure it I guess. Hope he gets bored and moves on to someone else. Sarah, that's not a plan, that's survival. You deserve better. Do I? I knew what he was. I did it anyway, same as you almost did. But I didn't. I stopped. You can still stop. It's too late for me. But maybe not for the next one. He's already circling Melissa, the new account coordinator. She's 23, fresh out of college. She has no idea what she's walking into. Then we warn her. We document everything. We build a case. With what evidence? He's too smart to leave trails. I have evidence from when he pursued me, text messages, emails. If we combine our documentation, maybe it's enough. Sarah looked at me with something like hope. You do that. Risk your career to help me? I should have done it a year ago. I was too worried about my reputation to do the right thing. I'm not making that mistake again. We spent 2 weeks building a case. Sarah provided her documentation. I provided mine. We reached out to other women Michael had targeted over the years. Found 3 more willing to come forward. We took everything to an employment lawyer. She looked it over and nodded. This is actionable. You have patterns, multiple victims, evidence of quid pro quo harassment and retaliation. You could sue the company. We just want him stopped, Sarah said. Then we go to the CEO directly, bypass HR, make it clear that if they don't act, you'll take this public and legal. We did, marched into the CEO's office with our lawyer and our evidence, laid it all out. The CEO, Patricia Martinez, looked sick by the end. I had no idea. Why didn't you come forward sooner? We tried. HR buried it, I said. Then HR will be investigated too. As for Michael, he's suspended effective immediately pending a full investigation. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Michael was fired 3 weeks later. Quiet termination, generous severance in exchange for an NDA. Not the public reckoning he deserved, but enough that he couldn't do this to anyone else at Cascade. Sarah quit anyway. Got a job at a competitor, fresh start. We're not friends exactly, but we text occasionally. Survivors of the same disaster. I thought that would give me closure. It didn't, because Michael wasn't the real problem. I could blame him for being a predator, for creating a hostile environment, for exploiting his position. All of that's true, but I still made my choices. I still kissed him. I still went to his apartment. I still prioritized ambition over integrity. Derek didn't leave because of Michael. He left because of me. Because I treated him terribly for months before Michael even entered the picture. Because I resented his different life path, mocked his work, made him feel small. The joke wasn't really a joke. That's the part I haven't told anyone except my therapist. 2 months ago, I went to work happy hour. Some colleagues were gossiping about office affairs, speculating about who was sleeping with whom for advancement. Someone asked me, would you ever do that? Trade sex for a promotion? And I laughed and said, I'd sleep with my boss for a promotion. Everyone laughed. It seemed like a joke, absurd and outrageous, but Derek was there. He'd stopped by to surprise me, to try one more time to connect. He heard me say it. I saw him standing there, his face collapsing. He'd known about Michael by then, knew I'd been struggling with inappropriate attention. And he heard me joke about the thing I'd almost done for real. He turned around and left. I ran after him. Derek, wait. It was a joke, was it? He stopped walking but didn't turn around. Because you almost did it. You almost slept with Michael for that promotion. So when you joke about it, which version are you joking about? The thing you almost did or the thing everyone else thinks is absurd? It was just a stupid comment. Everyone was joking around. You don't get to joke about that, not with me, not after what you put me through. I'm sorry, I didn't think. That's the problem, Katie, you never think. You never considered how your words might hurt me, how your actions might destroy us, how your choices might have consequences. You just do whatever feels good in the moment and expect everyone else to deal with the fallout. That's not fair. Isn't it? You emotionally cheated on me for months. You told me my work didn't matter. You said I was wasting my potential. You kissed your boss. You went to his apartment. You came this close. He held up his fingers an inch apart to sleeping with him. And when I left, you acted like I was overreacting, like I was the problem for not being understanding enough about your career stress. I never said you were the problem. You didn't have to. Every action told me I wasn't enough. And you know what? You were right. I wasn't enough for the person you became. But the person you became isn't someone I want to be with. I'm different now. I'm working on myself. I got therapy. I left Cascade. I helped take down Michael. Good. I'm glad. But you're doing that for you, not for us. There is no us anymore. I'm getting married in 3 months, Katie. To someone who values me, respects me, actually wants the life I want, I'm happy. Can you please let me be happy? I want you to be happy. Then stop chasing me, stop contacting me, stop using mutual friends to check up on me, let me go. I love you. You love the idea of me. You love the safety I represented, the unconditional support. But you didn't love me enough when it mattered, and now it's too late. He walked away. I watched him go, knowing it was the last time I'd ever see him. I went home and called my mom, told her everything, the whole truth. She listened without interrupting. Do you know why you're telling me this now? She asked when I finished. Because I can't carry it alone anymore. No, because Derek's getting married and it's forcing you to confront that you actually lost him. Before you could tell yourself he'd come back someday. Now you know he never will. She was right. I'd been holding on to this fantasy that someday, somehow, Derek would forgive me. We'd get back together, older and wiser. The joke comment was supposed to be proof that I'd healed enough to laugh about it. Instead, it became proof that I hadn't learned anything. That's why I'm writing this now, not for sympathy or forgiveness. I don't deserve either. I'm writing this because someone needs to say the quiet part out loud. Sometimes the person who gets ghosted deserves it. Everyone in my life thinks Derek abandoned me over a joke. They think he's rigid, unforgiving, cruel for disappearing without giving me a chance to explain. They don't know that he gave me hundreds of chances, that the joke was just the final straw in a haystack I'd been building for over a year. They don't know I kissed my boss. That I went to his apartment intending to sleep with him for career advancement. That the only thing that stopped me was a mental image of Derek's face, not any actual morality. They don't know that I emotionally abused Derek for months, making him feel inadequate because his ambitions were different from mine. That I mocked his work, resented his presence, wished he would just disappear so I could pursue what I thought I wanted. He granted that wish. He disappeared. And I got what I wanted: space to focus on my career, freedom from the limitations of the relationship. Turns out I didn't want it at all. I wanted him. I wanted the life we were building. I wanted the safety of his love, the comfort of his presence, the peace of being with someone who saw my flaws and loved me anyway. But I destroyed it. Methodically, cruelly, with full knowledge of what I was doing. The joke wasn't the problem. It was just the moment Derek realized I would never change. That I would always prioritize ambition over integrity, status over love, myself over us. He packed one bag because he didn't need more. Everything that mattered to him fit in a duffel: some clothes, some books, some memories. He left behind everything we'd built together because it had already been ruined by me. He didn't ghost forever over a joke. He left because he finally accepted that I was exactly who I'd shown him I was for months. And he deserved better. He found better. He's getting married to someone who probably makes him coffee in the morning and asks about his work and doesn't treat his different ambitions like character flaws. Someone who would never joke about trading sex for advancement because she'd never consider it in the first place. I'm happy for him. I really am. And I hate myself for the role I played in losing him. Dr. Patterson says I need to forgive myself to move forward, but maybe some things shouldn't be forgiven. Maybe some mistakes need to live in you forever, sharp and uncomfortable, reminding you of who you were so you never become that person again. I'm telling this story because I'm tired of being the victim in everyone else's version. I'm tired of people badmouthing Derek when he did nothing wrong. I'm tired of carrying the weight of everyone's misplaced sympathy. I'm the villain of this story. I'm the one who prioritized all the wrong things. I'm the one who treated love like it was disposable and was shocked when it actually got thrown away. The joke wasn't a joke. It was a confession, a glimpse into who I really am beneath the therapy and the self-improvement and the performance of growth. Derek heard it, recognized it for what it was, and made the healthiest choice he could. He left. I don't blame him. I blame myself. And maybe that's the beginning of actual growth, not the performance of it for therapy or forgiveness or redemption. Just the quiet, painful acknowledgement that I destroyed the best thing in my life through my own selfishness and cruelty. He's getting married in 3 months. I won't be there. I won't reach out. I won't make it about me. I'll just carry this story, this shame, this truth. And maybe someday it'll make me into someone worthy of the love I threw away. Even if that someone never gets a second chance at it. That's what I deserve. And that's what I'm learning to live with.